I would like to talk about a 2013 horror film, All Cheerleaders Die. It's a remake of the original low-budget horror film, All Cheerleaders Die, released in 2001, written and directed by Lucky McKee and Chris Silverstein, who later remakes their film into a 2013 film I'll be analyzing. I don't research films before watching, so when looking at the film's poster, I expected for the film to be another slasher horror movie. When viewing the first couple minutes of All Cheerleaders Die, it did share a similar quality to those movies. It was gore. Watching further into the film, you find out that the film is centered around witches. Knowing this, I expected for the film to be predictable by following similar formula as Tamara, The Craft, and Jennifer's Body. The girls gain power, seek revenge, and die. Although this film has similarities to the other witch movies, it still diverges from your average film. The story follows Maddie. She isn't your average main character. She's a queer woman who doesn't portray feminine qualities compared to other women portrayed in film. In the film The Night of the Living Dead, a 1960s movie, women were practically useless. They literally spent the whole movie screaming and crying. Maddie was the opposite. She didn't lack characteristics. She is a determined and stubborn person by her urge to get vengeance on the antagonist. She carried out a plan to turn the cheerleaders against the football players, and when the time came, she sprang into action and saved her girls. Films still confine women's abilities to the sphere of love, sexuality, and maternal instinct. Yes, Maddie's motive to fight against the antagonist was purely out of vengeance and later out of love. But I believe that because she was so callous in the beginning of the movie, it cancels out that her motives shifted into an area of the film that is heavily stereotyped. This film in some ways incorporates a spaghetti western film style in the horror genre. This style features high action sequences, anti-hero protagonists, and commentary on social issues along with common western tropes, like happy endings and clear moral duality. These films often contain a main villain who represents the worst of humanity and an imperfect hero with selfish morals that have a reputation for including unique and powerful musical scores in the scene. In Act 1, we are introduced to the cheer and football teams. Everything is normal. There is bright lighting, setting a warm and comfortable tone. We meet our main character, Maddie, who wishes to join the cheer team, but it is revealed to the audience that she has hidden motives of revenge seeking on the cheer and football teams because she believes they are superficial and cruel. In Act 2, where the rising action leads into the climax, while infiltrating the cheer team, Maddie's scheme of deception with her witchcraft abilities provoked the cheer and football teams into a rivalry that led to the cheer team's demise. Maddie's obsessed ex Lena then resurrects the cheer team. These scenes are shot in less lighting, setting a tone of mystery and suspense. Lastly, in Act 3, the following action involves Maddie now sharing a traumatic moment and new powers with the rest of the girls on the cheer team. She realizes that they aren't so bad, but the deed is done. She's already caused the cheer and football teams to turn on each other. Maddie's SA abuser, Terry, captain of the football team, is taking the stones that resurrected the girls by killing them. This information is provided in cross-cutting as Maddie explains that Terry has sexually assaulted her in the past. It cuts between his current abuse in ripping the stones out of the bodies of the girls. When gaining the stones, he gains more power. Unlike most other female characters would do, Maddie attempts to fight against him. Before ending the movie, we are hit with a couple of twists. After Maddie's failed attempts to save the cheer team, everyone is killed except for Maddie and Lena. The two girls are cornered and it appears that Maddie will be faced with death yet again. But Lena uses her witch powers to save the day, a rare moment where sapphics don't die in a film that contains action. Or at least I thought so, because the last scene of the movie shows a dead cheerleader from earlier in the film coming back to life. It would be great to see what happens in the prequel, but for now, we are stuck with the well-put-together 2013 film All Cheerleaders Die.